Monster, what Kathy Griffin threatened to do to Barron Trump is unforgivable. As we all have heard by now, comedian, quote, Kathy Griffin posted disturbing images of herself pretending to behead the president. President Trump directly called her out on Twitter, saying the ISIS-like imagery disturbed his 11-year-old son, Barron. Now we have more evidence of her deranged sense of humor. In 2016, she said that she would be using her platform to go after Barron Trump during an interview with Vulture, saying, the full quote was, I'm so happy to deliver beatdown to Donald Trump and also to Barron. You know a lot of comics are going to go hard for Donald, but my edge is that I'll go direct for Barron. I'm going to get in ahead of the game. Disgusting. There is something seriously wrong with anyone who attacks an 11-year-old. I'm sure you've seen this tweet. Kathy Griffin should be ashamed of herself. My children, especially my 11-year-old son Barron, are having a hard time with this. Sick. Donald Trump Jr.'s children were also disturbed to see imagery of their grandfather beheaded by Kathy Griffin. Donald Trump Jr.'s tweet, and I'm counting down, having to explain it to my 8 and 10-year-olds, who I'm sure will hear about it at school. That's for sure. Because admitting her wrongdoing and slinking away would be too dignifying for Kathy Griffin, she decided to double down today during a press conference and say that she is the victim, not President Trump or Barron. Her exact words were, "It's hurtful to me. There's a bunch of old white guys trying to silence me, and I'm just here to say it's wrong." Kathy Griffin on Donald Trump photo scandal. I don't know what's more sick, the images themselves or her lack of apology. Kathy Griffin ended her pathetic and weird press conference with, "I would never want to hurt anyone, especially a child." Let's take a quick listen to this.
I mean, you gotta be honest, it's a good time to be a comedian. It's scary to be a citizen, but it's a good time to be a comedian.
Should we take some questions?
Did I do everything wrong? I did everything wrong. I did everything wrong.
Okay.
I don't know how this part works.
Okay, let's start over here. Okay.
Yeah, thank you. In December 9th, reporter Shira Levine, quoted you as saying that you were happy to deliver a beatdown to Donald Trump and also to Barron, and that you, quote, wanted to go down hard on Donald and go direct for Barron Trump.
When is this quote from?
This is a quote.
Yeah, I said that in my act.
Okay.
Yeah.
She said that in her social
Years ago.
So you admitted you're going after Barron Trump. Is that what this is all about?
I think a comic should be able to make fun of everybody. Like
I apologize. My question is for Lisa.
Oh.
So are you aware that your client is trying to go after Barron Trump?
Okay, so that's a ridiculous, misleading question, and she hasn't said a single word here today about Barron. You're talking about something from a comedy act from years ago, I think. And let me talk about this issue of children. Okay, we can have edgy comics in America. Comics can say things that are not appropriate for children. Comics can create images that are not appropriate for children. Many things on the news are not appropriate for children. I'm a parent of 2 adult children and a teenage foster son. It is my job as a parent to filter out what is appropriate for my children. It is not the job of a comic to filter everything down to the level of an 11-year-old. She gets to make the comedy and the art that she wants to make, and the parents decide what's appropriate for children.
You think a news organization can block out, Trump can block out every news organization tweeting out this photo?
You know what? There's a lot of disgusting stuff about Trump on the news every day, like the fact that he's making us the laughing stock of the world.
No, you are.
Other people here. She did not. Wait, hold on. She did not go after a
The liberals.
Nothing in her piece had to do with Barron. So you're trying to
Really?
do something.
What are your thoughts on reports?
I make fun of everybody in my act. I make fun of I'm like one of those people that makes fun of everybody in my act, myself the most. But I'm super real, and I sort of have this gauge. If it's real or it's shocking, and sometimes I say shocking things to kind of wake people up. But yeah, I said that during a live show. I make fun of everybody in my act.
How do you feel about the fact that he was traumatized?
Well, allegedly. We don't know that. You're assuming that everything the Trumps say is true, and in fact, we know that many of the things that the Trumps say are false. So again, comedians get to be edgy. Comedians get to use 4-letter words. Comedians get to make visual representations that are not appropriate for children. News organizations can decide what they're going to put on daytime TV, and parents can decide what's appropriate for their children to see. Next question.
I'm also not appropriate for children, I would say, across the board. Like, trust me, like when I used to do a joke in my act when I was doing clubs, when I would, sometimes someone would shout out, "I've got a kid here," and I'd say, "Well, you're at the wrong effing place." Like, I'm very open about that.
Yeah.
It's,
What happened?
I'll do that too.
Yeah, you said you've been
Their
bullied by the
tape.
Trump family. Have they reached out to you outside of social media?
I don't think they have to. My impression is that they have mobilized their armies or their bots or whatever they do. Like I said, it's quite clear to me that they're trying to use me as a distraction, and
you hear
I'm
that?
not going to be collateral damage for this fool.
I think
I think he's a fool. So I'm going to say I think the president
we're
is
sort
a
of
fool.
going on this way. So.
I can say
Do you
that.
have fear for your career after this storm goes down?
Absolutely. I don't think I will have a career after this. I think he, I'm going to be honest, he broke me. He broke me. And then I was like, no, this isn't right. This is not right. And I apologized because that was the right thing to do and I meant it. And then I saw the tide turning and I saw what they were doing and I went, oh, okay, they're trying to spin this and they're making it about Barron, and obviously that was never my intent. I would never want to hurt anyone, much less a child, but I started to see what was really happening. And then it was a mob mentality pile-on. And so many people have expressed to me personally across the country at my shows, they're scared. So, yeah, I don't know what you're going to rest of the day. I don't know.
What do you
But I
think about
have to
CNN
deal.
firing you?
Excuse me?
What do you think about CNN firing you?
It's hurtful to me.
It's hurtful.
Yeah.
It's censorship, is what it is. I'll say it more bluntly.
I just-
She worked there for 10 years.
Look,
The
there's a
best
bunch
thing about
of-
New Year's Eve.
There's a bunch of old white guys trying to silence me, and I'm just here to say that's wrong.
As
You don't
Larry,
have to like me, but you shouldn't silence a comic.
as Larry King said, Ted Turner would never have done it. Can we go around?
Have you talked to Anderson? Have you had a chance to talk to Anderson on Korea?
Has the Secret Service come to you?
So Secret Service questions. This is Dimitri Gorn.
So, I'm Dimitri Gorn, I'm the criminal defense
Can you
attorney.
move to your left, sir?
Sure. We're representing Kathy in the criminal investigation, which we believe is going to be closed, and we're going to fully cooperate with the Secret Service in their investigation. We don't even think it should have ever been opened. She basically exercised her First Amendment rights to tell a joke. And when you look at everything in the media, all the times entertainers make videos or express themselves in other ways, you've never seen an entertainer, let alone a comedian, be subject to a criminal investigation. It's really outrageous. And I believe she's going to be cleared. I believe the Secret Service is, doing their job, I suppose, anytime they perceive there's a threat, but there really wasn't a threat. Ms. Griffin has expressed to you, it was just a bad joke. She's apologized for it, and we believe the Secret Service investigation should be closed as quickly as possible.
Kathy, do you think that people are making comment that would be coming after you this hard?
No, cut the crap. This wouldn't be happening to a guy. This is a woman thing, all right? I'm just going to come out and say it. And I'm sorry if you don't agree with me, but I live it. I'm 56 years old. Everywhere I play, there's a male promoter, there's a male who owns the theater. The people who sign my checks are white guys. They're usually older white guys. I've been living this my whole career.
Would it be acceptable if somebody were saying a black guy? Would it have been acceptable to the liberals? I mean, could you stand in front of the camera and say that? I mean, they're just pushing their agenda for racial discrimination. I mean, it's totally disgusting, actually. What's the difference if somebody's white or black? We're not back in time. This is 2018. I mean, we're 17. I'm getting ahead of myself. But really, I mean, it's crazy. What do you mean a bunch of white guys? Yes, we all know it's a male-dominated field, correct. But why? Because they're white or they're black? Well, what difference does that make? These liberals are out of their minds. They're pushing their agenda as if she is the victim. No, there was no punchline to her joke. She was holding up a severed head. I mean, where was the joke in this? Where was the joke? I didn't find it funny, and a lot of people found it very disturbing. And Secret Service had to look into this. It's their job. Yes, it is their job, because there are a lot of sick people out there that might take this, as seriously, and a deranged person, and do something. I mean, really, this is crazy. I can go on and on. Let us know what you think in the comments below, and thank you so much for watching.